Hey Leute, es geht wieder weiter mit einer neuen Ausgabe zu Cyberpunk Night City Wire Episode 3. Und in 3 Minuten geht's los. Vorweg wollte ich noch was sagen. Ja, nach dem PlayStation Event. Wie soll ich sagen? Haben sie in der Nacht, ich weiß nicht, 1 Uhr, ne? Um 1 Uhr haben sie die PlayStation 5 bei Amazon reingestellt. Und ich gucke drauf am Abend, weil ich das nicht wusste, hat ja keiner was gesagt, ne? Ja, ist weg. Und jetzt müssen wir warten. Also ich habe immer noch nicht vorbestellt. Ich will auch nicht einer der Ersten sein. Aber sowas ist doch sick, oder? In der Nacht. Jo, alles klar. Ich weiß jetzt nicht, ich gucke jetzt immer regelmäßig bei Amazon rein. Mittlerweile bei eBay. Also die Typen verstehe ich nicht. Da gehört er direkt mal in die, einen Tritt mal in die Fresse, Alter. Wirklich, die verkaufen die PlayStation 5, haben sie gekauft, warum auch immer. Interessiert den nicht. Wollten sie eigentlich nie haben. Aber die verkaufen das dann für einen Wucherpreis. Sagen wir mal 800 Euro. Ja, klar. Die Konsole kostet 500 Euro, aber verkaufen wir für 800. Oder für 4000. Warum nicht? Also, weißt du, die Konsole ist schon relativ teuer. Für 500. Dann noch mehr zu bezahlen. Also, hier. 1 Minute geht's los. Vorweg, wollte ich noch hier. Guck mal. Und zwar kann man ja gewinnen. Mal gucken. Vor Kamera. Ihr werdet es dann auch hören. So. Ab und zu kaufe ich die mal, wenn die im Angebot sind. Hören wir mal. Nein. Das war nix. Ich sehe so verarsche. Ich meine, klar, ich habe gesehen auf der Seite, dass da ein paar Gewinner gibt. 25 Stück in 7 Jahren. 5-mal Finderlohn steht hier. Los geht's. Wir haben 18 Uhr. Bam, 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 bam. Ich hoffe, es gibt eine Special Edition zu PS5. Night City Wire. Ah, hey. Die schon wieder. Na, Schatzi. Mhm. Das Spiel, das genau das Datum von PlayStation herausgefunden hat. Was ist das? Machen wir mal ein bisschen lauter, ne? War ja, habe ich gar nicht gemerkt, dass es.
Oh my God, Juanita here. Today's news is Novamax.
Hi there. New to Night City? It's not so bad here.
How we feeling today? Cause I feel amazing.
The food. The tie on 7.
Sieht schon geil aus, oder?
The pierogies down by the
Jetzt,
dock.
wo ich es nochmal sehe, Alter.
Our home.
Die haben nochmal aufgepusht, war.
And as always, your business is my business.
And this is your world news update.
Das neue GTA 6.
Endless possibilities and endless lies.
We are fucked, America. And I don't know how we're gonna fix it.
The homeless population in Night City has risen by 300%.
Also verändert sich das jetzt nicht aus.
Crime in Night City is now double the rate than in the new United States.
Kraftwerke gibt's immer noch. Klar, die Müllberge sind ein bisschen höher geworden. Als bei uns.
That's a fight this city won't let you win. On your own, you're fucked.
Oh, Keanu. Muss doch die Stimme. Kommt mir bekannt vor.
That's it for today's info flash. Sleep tight, Night City. The grass ain't greener anywhere else.
Okay, der kosche Friese.
Night City. What does it mean to you? How well do you know its history?
Boah.
Who was Richard Knight? How many stations are in the NCART system? Which city district boasts the best burrito in town? The answers to these questions and more can be found at the address at the bottom of your screen. Check it out and fall in love with Night City all over again.
Das ist doch GEMA, oder? Muss gerade mal wegmachen. Okay. Verflixte GEMA, ne? Verflixte GEMA. Ich hab eh so jetzt wieder
Since
ein
Night
GEMA,
City
oder?
is one of our stars of this episode, there is actually quite a lot to talk about. So let's start at the beginning. How did Night City come to be? Because yes, it exists in the world of the tabletop, but
Ach, war
how
nicht
do you
der?
take that and make what we've got now?
Well, yeah,
So
as
der
you can
Deutsche, ne?
imagine, making a city that is as big and complex as Night City is
Der
quite
ist doch
the
ein
ambitious project.
Deutscher.
First off, we sat down and we were really considering
Ich bin
what
nicht
is it
Deutsche.
that we wanted to do with Night City. In a way, Night City is the star of Cyberpunk, right? It is one of its main characters. We wanted to make a city that is very, very believable, right? I mean, the word immersion gets thrown around a lot, but really, we wanted you to be able to dive into it and feel like this is a real place. And then secondly, we also wanted to provide enough variety
Okay, das ist
between
ein bisschen
districts
anders.
so that
Das auch.
exploring Night City would always be fun, right? There's no point
Fliegende Autos
in
gibt's auch
making
noch
a
nicht.
city that is all same-ish, and you know it doesn't really matter where you go because once you've been through one district, you feel like you've been through all of them. So for that, we first off started taking a look at the real-life geography that Night City is located on, and that would be on the coast of California. Knowing that Night City would be a coastal city gave us a bit of insight into what we would
Das ist so
expect
GTA.
from the city layout. You'd expect the port, you'd expect huge industrial
Das war
areas that would
Trevor-Gegend.
facilitate this kind of trade that you would assume a city of this type would have with the world. And then we went through and actually divided the city into
Ach, es
several
gibt auch fahrende
districts,
Autos.
6 of them, and some of them are based on the original lore. We decided to give their own characteristics in terms of architecture, their demographics, the kind of people that would live there, and also the function within the city. Each of these districts in turn we divided into further sub-districts, which we further
Hat er sich
characterized
die
using
Friese
the more
vom
grand
Spiel?
theme of
Das sieht
the
aus wie die Friese
larger
vom
district.
Spiel.
This process, I think, has resulted in a city that feels quite alive, has a lot of character, where each district feels like its own distinct zone without feeling separated from the larger picture. And that results in something that allows the player to easily navigate even the complex concrete jungles of Night City simply by looking around and always having a rough idea where you actually are.
But Night City is clearly so different from anything we've ever created with The Witcher. Can you give us some idea about, or some insight into just how big and like how densely packed Night City really is?
Yes, so I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying that Night City is easily the most complex thing that I or the others have worked on. The city is
Hat ja alles aus Cyberpunk.
organic, right? It's not like a
Die Frau hat alles aus
chessboard layout,
Cyberpunk.
but
Die
the
Jacke im
layout of the
Hintergrund,
city
der
is
Stuhl
crazy.
ist von
And you can
Secret
tell
Lab,
that it
den ich auch
grew
habe,
in
aber gibt's auch einen
phases, right, where
Cyberpunk-Look.
buildings have been built
Die
on
hat
top
da
of each
Bilder
other.
von Cyberpunk.
I guess
Alter,
the
was ist
mega
mit
buildings
der?
that we have showcased are a great example of this. You'll actually see that they are located on some kind of pillar, you know, and then expand outside and then up high into the sky, and underneath it you'll have space for other buildings. This yields a lot of interesting experiences when it comes to exploration, and that's the one thing I'm most excited about for players to experience. We've been saying that our exploration is super vertical, right? But what this really means is that it changes the way you explore the city. Compared to our previous games, you won't be able to easily set out on a target in the distance, right? You won't be able to say, oh, there's a castle on a hill over there, I'll try to get there, and then you'll be lost on the way. But here it's much more intimate, much more moment to moment. You might be roaming the cities and get a call by your fixer who informs you about a job nearby that you might be able to do, right? Or you find an alleyway and you walk down one of the many alleyways that the city has to offer, and it's always a surprise. You don't know if you might stumble upon some gangers hanging out that are up to no good. Sometimes, and these are the moments that I often get surprised with, you'd even stumble upon the odd elevator that is meant to connect parts of the, you know, different layers of the city. And it's quite astonishing sometimes to see where you come out when you enter one of these and, you know, find that, oh, this is actually how it connects to the world. That's crazy. And now I'm here, and now I know there's a shortcut that I can take. And again, this all serves to really enhance this sense of wonder that we all come to love from open world games, and the whole city is built to cater to that.
I mean, you guys have really brought Night City to life, and I really want to make a point of that. It is a living, breathing city. So as a level designer, can you give us some insight into those little touches that you guys have made?
Ja, und zurück ans Studio.
You guys have even been placing rubbish by hand.
Oh yes,
Cut.
We've been
Cut.
placing
Schnitt.
quite a bit of rubbish, and that's certainly one of the more glorious parts of being a level designer or an environment artist, where you get to litter the streets that you've spent time building with the garbage. But it's details such as this that we find really important to make the city feel alive, and also we take great pride in the process of making this, right? We have a lot of fun actually placing a lot of what we call mini stories, right? These are little encounters that you can find when you simply walk along the streets. Of course, we have huge quests, right? Side quests. We have lots of side activities that you can
Ich bin
do.
gespannt auf jeden Fall. Ich bin gespannt. Wie lang das Spiel gehen wird. Alter, wir kennen ja The Witcher, ne? Und das hat auch sehr viel Zeitpotenzial.
Now, one
my
other thing that I
God.
think is really cool is
Ich
also
bin-
the fact that we have actually
Es wird bestimmt ein
every
Jahr
single
gehen.
street in the city.
Also
So not only will NPCs be able to communicate
für
their
Let's Play
location or
ein
the
Jahr.
locations they want you to visit by sort of referring to the street names, but also you will be able to talk to your friends about it in that way, right? Have you been to Poplar Street in Japantown, for example? And I think this is a small detail, but
Okay.
the philosophy that we have with these
Okay.
campaigns is that, you know, many small things
Jetzt aber genug
contribute to the
geredet,
sum
oder?
of it, which is
Jetzt aber
hopefully
genug
then you'll
geredet,
be able
oder?
to explore a city that you feel is truly alive and that you haven't been experiencing before.
Well, Miles, thank you so much for giving us your insight. I suppose when the game
Okay.
launches, you could be an official Night City tour guide instead, right?
I might be, yeah. You know, if this game dev thing doesn't work out for me, I might retire and become a tour guide in Night City.
Don't
will den
forget,
Stuhl
if
haben
you
von der.
are tuning
Und
in
die Jacke da
late, or if
hinten.
you just want to watch anything again, we will be uploading everything to our channels soon. Now, from the 6th Street
Und die
to
Frau will ich auch haben.
Valentino's, it's time to introduce you to the gangs of Night City.
Heiß. Falsches Spiel. Falsches Spiel.
You know how things work in Night City? The stronger survive, but that's how things stand. You're either somebody, or you fizzle out into nothing.
Den Sea ain't a city that lets you get by without buddies.
Be very careful, my friend. We are all so far from
Aber die
home.
Lichtverhältnisse sind so geil.
Which gang's the city's biggest and baddest, according to the NCPD?
Scavs hold the body count title. Or Maelstrom, depending on the season.
One time, a Maelstrom ganger killed a young kid right in front of my eyes for shits and giggles.
Chrome-sucking psychos.
And who the fuck are you to say what can and can't be? I'm gonna introduce you to our meat grinder. About time we had some fun!
Think Maelstrom never forgets? Never!
I hate these Borg fuckers.
Just a gang like any other, right?
I'll take the Valentinos. They follow God and the Santa Madre.
Das ist verschiedene,
How'd you meet Jackie?
verschiedene Korruptionen, verschiedene Gangs oder was?
No, in the fucking Bible book club. I gotta give style points to the Valentinos. They have a punishment for every occasion.
Gangster life, puto! Quick shout out to everyone in Haywood and Santo Domingo. Lately, the Valentinos and 6th Street have had a bigger bone to pick.
6th Street. Why'd they want to wipe you?
I can't fucking stand
Jo,
Tinos.
das sind die
I've dealt with 6th Street before.
Motherfuckers.
Do the run,
Das sind
they'll transfer the
Motherfuckers.
cred.
Come on, let's go before 6th Street shows up. Shot! 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 Any more Second Amendment fans in the
Kann man sich für eine Fraktion entscheiden?
Vomit lofty patriotic bullshit all day. Time to bring on the future.
Any idea how many attacks from behind the black
Voodoo?
wall we neutralized? If the Voodoo Boys breach the black wall, we'll all be fucked.
Voodoo boys. Urban myth, I thought. Just net runners spooking each other. No such gang.
You know, I heard a few things about you. The Voodoo Boys, best runners in
Die
town.
neuartige Voodoo.
Steal from the Voodoo Boys. I see you, always. For them, Pacifica's just Haiti 2.0. Their own island, cut off from the rest of the city.
This is our turf, our home. Until last week, the animals crawled in.
Animals are the craziest fucking gang in the city.
Breaker stall!
Animals aren't the play here, are they? They're hired muscle. Someone else needed them.
Oha.
I fucked you over, you fucked the gang over. Somewhere at the start of
Junge.
the story, somebody
Bisschen
fucked the See how
Elektrolyten
this
da.
works now?
My husband's new Westbrook. Very high.
Oh,
in
die
the
sind auch nicht
Tiger
schlecht.
class. They did what made the best eddies. Sold sex and black market tech.
See a lot of tigers. They run this
Bisschen
place.
Sleeping Dogs war.
Break the knees of people who ask questions.
Gotta do something.
Shut the fuck up! The tigers will kill us. Come on, baby.
Tiger Claws killed one girl too many, so people took matters into their own hands.
Folk went ballistic.
Die Girlies.
Bros, pimps, outcasts, the whole freak show. It's how the Mox got started.
Think you're some kind of gangoon now, huh?
Us Moxes have each other's back. We look out for one another. You looking for some company tonight?
How'd you hook up with the Mox?
I
Kann
thought
man sich
Susie
auch
and the gang could
umentscheiden.
really change something in this city.
Oder auch mal was anderes machen. Wenn
Moxes
das
and nomads don't seem so
so wäre.
different. Both seem to yammer a lot about community, solidarity. Tell me about the Badlands.
Man kann sich bestimmt von der Fraktion entscheiden.
Au
Aber man
contraire.
wechseln kann.
This is an ecosystem. Nomads, Grafton Shiv, corporations, and drifters, they form a complete whole. Remove
Wie
one
viel
part,
gibt's denn
the
bitte?
delicate balance.
Alter.
Here in the Aldecaldos, it all stays in the family.
Classic dilemma. What comes first? Family or the outside world?
This family will go to hell and back.
Everyone in this city lives in their own bubble, and either you fly high or sink into quicksand.
Boah. Viel zu viele Gruppen.
Matthew,
Alter.
thank you so much for joining us. I have personally been really excited to give people a closer look at the gangs. We've shown a little bit on Twitter, but their styles are so distinct.
Yes, I enjoyed them a lot as well in our game. I think they're very cool.
But let's start then with the kind of role that they play, because gangs really do play a prominent role in Night City, correct?
Yes, definitely. The gangs, they rule the streets of Night City. You know, they have the newest cyberware, they have the newest weaponry, and they are really a power that everyone needs to take into account when they are thinking of operating in Night City. You will encounter them as you explore the city, of course, but also as you complete main quests, side quests, different jobs for the fixers. Sometimes you might even get hired by them.
But then, I suppose everybody's thinking then, can you join a gang?
Well,
Ich habe gar keinen Überblick mehr gehabt.
And Mercs of Night
Ich fand
City are
die
this unique, distinct group that stick mostly to
Anonymous
themselves,
vielleicht
right?
gut.
And they get jobs
Die
from
Muskeln,
variety of
aber
factions.
ist aber auch
They can
blöd.
get jobs from
Wie hießen die einen
corporations,
nochmal?
they can get jobs from gangs, they can get jobs from different kind of like influential clients. Because of this, nobody will ever trust a merc to be one of them, right? And the gangs are no exception here. They are looking only for like people that they know will be loyal to them, right? And that they will fight for their cause all of the
Six
time,
Streets,
not just some
genau,
of the
Six
times when
Streets.
it's
Die waren
profitable
nicht
to them.
schlecht.
So because of this, we will mostly stick to the afterlife. And the afterlife are this group of mercs, this legendary group of mercenaries in Night City. They get the best jobs, they get the most money, the best clients, and so on. So if you want to become a legend in Night City, you are going to the afterlife.
So we've obviously mentioned distinct style then. So does that mean there are kind of special gang-themed weapons and items and clothing for players to find and use?
Yes, definitely. There are different vehicles that you can drive, for example. There are cars, there are motorbikes. Then, of course, there are different pieces of clothing themed after gangs. There are weapons and so on. So yeah, definitely there are things to look forward to.
I suppose as somebody who's spent as much time as you have kind of getting to know the gangs, I have to ask, which is your favorite and why?
So I would have to say probably Maelstrom, simply because they have this unique, distinct feel and this weird aesthetic about them. So the idea about Maelstrom is they are people who want to cross the boundary between the machine and human, right? They are changing so much of their body with cyberware that they no longer look human, really. On top of that, they are also very unpredictable. It's very difficult to say what they will do at any point when you meet them. At one moment, they can be shaking hands with you, and at the other moment, you know, they will pull gun out on you, and they bring in this element of chaos into the game, which I really enjoy personally.
Oh, Matty, thank you so much for joining us. It's always interesting to learn what your favorite gang is. I think it kind of tells me a little bit about you.
Oh, does it? What does it say about me?
Well, we'll talk about that later. But for now, before we wrap up today's episode, we asked people to show us their creativity and design a PC case mod, Cyberpunk style. Our panel of judges selected 5 finalists and we teamed them up with professional case modders to bring their concept to reality.
Contest final.
These 5 amazing designs will be fighting for the main prize, an Alienware Aurora PC along with other awesome gaming peripherals, brought to you by our partners Alienware, Nvidia, and SteelSeries. Let's see the mods.
I absolutely love this one.
The whole aesthetic works with each other.
Absolutely next level. Honestly, kind of terrifying.
Exactly the type of thing
Ist das ein
I would expect
PC?
to find at a trade show.
It really looks like it could have come straight out of the game.
Das sieht so sick aus.
To watch the full PC case modding video and to get more information about when the winning design will be available on charity auction, stay tuned to our social media channels. Looking at those PC case mods, it reminds me that we do have one more thing to reveal. If you're going to be playing Cyberpunk 2077 on PC when it launches this November, we do have some specs to share that I think some of you have been waiting for. The minimum system requirements for Cyberpunk are a Windows 7 or 10 PC, an Intel Core i5 3570K or AMD FX 8310, 8 gigs of RAM, and an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 780 or an AMD Radeon RX 470. In the storage department, the game will take up roughly 70 gigs of space, and although it will
Jetzt
run
AMD
we
Ryzen.
recommend an SSD. As for the recommended specs, you're in the green if you're rocking Windows 10, an Intel Core i7
T7 oder T9,
4790
weiß
or
nicht.
AMD Ryzen 3 3200G, 12 gigs of RAM, and an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 or AMD Radeon R9 Fury. Thank you so much for joining us for
Alles
episode
klar.
3 of Night City Wire. Don't forget that if you
Das war's.
missed anything
Es kommt keine
or if
Episode
you
mehr.
just want to watch again, we will be
Es ist
uploading
kurz,
everything
ne?
to our channels shortly, and we will be back soon
20
with
Minuten.
episode 4.
Ah, es gibt noch eine 4. Episode. Die kommt wann? Wahrscheinlich 1,5 Monate. Aber es müsste dann die letzte sein. See you again. Next time. Ja, okay. War jetzt kürzer, oder? Habe ich das irgendwie nicht so viele Informationen, aber okay. Klar, wir haben eigentlich zwei coole Trailer gesehen, ne? Ich nehme es mal mit, ne? Ja, mal schauen, wie es weitergeht. Ich würde sagen, haut rein. Demnächst. Bald kommt auch die wie heißt es? Tokyo Game Show. Das gibt so viel jetzt noch. Alter. Denkst du so, ja, ist ja fast zu Ende. Ist ja jetzt zu Ende mit den ganzen Events. Nein, da kommt noch Tokyo Game Show. Dann kommt Ubisoft Forward, glaube ich auch noch. Nein, kein Twitch Gaming. Ubisoft Forward, glaube ich, kommt auch noch eine raus noch. Und ich glaube, es gibt noch einiges. Einiges, was sich noch ansammelt. Dann die nächste Night City war ja. Ja, solange Corona noch da ist, gibt es wieder immer schon alle 2 Monate mal von dem Publisher oder von dem Publisher mal ein Video. Ist halt so, müssen wir so machen, mitnehmen. Ist ja auch eigentlich schön, ne? Dass man dann. Ich finde das echt so geil. Könnte immer schon so sein. Aber klar, du hast dann halt wie welche Leute, die bringen nur, keine Ahnung. Bei Nintendo ist es auch momentan so. Die machen immer jeden Monat ein Event. Eine Direct Mini. Da frage ich mich, warum machen die keine normale Direct? Einfach mal alle 3 Monate oder so. Warum? Dann auch noch so irgendwelche Spiele, die kaum einer interessiert. Ich verstehe es nicht. Ich meine, klar, für mich interessiert es nicht, aber klar, ist Geschmackssache. Ich glaube, dass ihr auch meiner Meinung seid. Aber ich finde das so komisch. Kam zwar Monster Hunter gestern raus, sah geil aus, aber der Rest war jetzt nicht so. Ich vermisse einfach die normale Direct von Nintendo. Das ist, ja, die gehen irgendwie auch unter, ne? Durch die ganzen, durch die Konsole, die Konsole kommt neu. Geht die Nintendo unter. Naja, ich würde sagen, wir sehen uns dann auf einem anderen Video. Bis dann. Ciao.